Two teams with a long history and bad blood are on the Central Regional's grand stage, the Sweet 16. It is the NCAA Division II Women's Basketball Championship between the #1 overall seed, Emporia State Hornets, and the #2 overall seed and host school, and the Pittsburg State Gorillas. Good evening, folks. Welcome to day 3 of action, as it is Cam Molina right beside Zach Mitchell. At Hornets Club, they come out very talentedly, played extremely well, and it has really started with Kelly Moten and her decisive play at the facilitator role, Zach.
Well, she can score. There's no doubt about that. She averages about 17 points a game. The key for her is all the shots she creates for her teammates that allows them to be potent scorers. When she's off the court, it lowers everybody's offensive weaponry and efficiency just because she's not creating easy shots for her teammates.
Now, in addition, they came through, the Hornets, with 2 late and clutch victories over Winona State, winning by 4, and Northern State by a total of only 6 points. Now, they were able to come out yet again and prevailed. However, this PSU ball club is chock full of talent, and Kathy Brugman has just been electric. She had 31 the other day versus Tech.
She's one of the leading scorers in the whole Central Region tournament. However, the last time these two teams hooked up and played, Kathy Brugman struggled mightily from the field in all facets of the game. Flott really did a good job on her, both defensively and scoring against her on the other end. So Brugman's going to be a key factor here, not only in terms of averaging what she has to do, but being an emotional leader as well.
Now, in addition for the girls, Michaela Burgess, who struggled during the Sioux Falls game, came alive in the second half during the Golden Suns matchup, dropping 21 pivotal points. It'll be a great matchup at the point between her and Moten.
Well, they're going to go at it, and Burgess is actually an underrated defender, but it's her offensive potency from 3 and the ability to free herself with the dribble as well as coming off of screens. Moten will probably check her, if not at the beginning, late in the game if this is a close game in those one-position type situations. So Burgess and Moten will be looking at the assists and point totals for Moten, whereas the shooting percentages and total point totals for Burgess for the Pitt State.
PSU, out of the last 7 matchups, only won once against the Hornets. They are 1-7, dating back to last season. Their latest victory came on February the 6th in a 74-66 victory. However, during the MIAA championship game, the Hornets prevailed 80-66. We'll be back with the opening tip-offs. It will be the PSU Gorillas and the Emporia State Hornets for the title of Sweet 16 champion in the Central Region.
At guard for Pittsburg State, a 5'10" junior from Wichita, Kansas, number 10.
Welcome to the explosive atmosphere in John Lance Arena as the #1 overall seed Emporia State University Hornets are set to take on the 2nd overall seed and host school and the Pittsburg State University Gorillas. Good evening, folks. Cam Molina right beside Zach Mitchell for this Sweet 16 matchup. And we could not have asked for a more sweet matchup, Zach, as 2 MIAA opponents who have fought tooth and nail to get to this point will finally square off with a lot of history trailing behind them.
The programs of excellence in terms of long-standing athletic success. Emporia State obviously with 5 straight 16 appearances, and Pittsburg State on a run like no other in their program history these last few years. So both programs really are capitalizing on excellent recruiting, excellent coaching, and a hot streak of talent the nation has taken notice of.
Now PSU, this is only their 2nd appearance in program history to the Sweet 16, while Emporia State is seeking their 5th straight appearance and beating the Sweet 16 and heading over to the Elite 8. They went to the Elite 4 last season, and we'll go ahead and enter the starting lineups, beginning with the #1 overall seed Hornets, Kelly Moten at guard with Kelsey Bardwell, Sandra Ngoye with Addie Lackey, and Catherine Flott down low on the post. And as for PSU, we see the senior forward and Kylie Gafford, Michaela Burgess, who just dropped 21 second-half points against the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns the other evening, Hayden Herlocker, Paige Lungwitz, and Kathy Brugman. And for the Hornets in this ball game, we spoke in our interlude about how crucial Moten will be and how she can score, but she's taken a backseat reserve position as she's been facilitating the ball very well and having players like Addie Lackey and Kelsey Barnwell step up and make big-time plays.
When you mentioned Lackey, she has been very quiet in terms of making a loud impact statistically in this tournament, but she has had some big moments, and I think tonight, again, with Moten running the show, I think they're going to have her, if she's got a shot, they're going to tell her to take it. Otherwise, if she can get Lackey, Barnwell, Flott going in this ball game, that's an Emporia State monster I wouldn't want to stand in front of.
Now the Hornets are coming off 2 victories in the Central Region against the likes of Northern State University and the Wolves. That was a very close matchup, and then the Winona State matchup was also decisive and came down to a last handful of plays. Emporia came away victorious in that matchup, and then PSU waltzed through the first round of competition against the likes of Sioux Falls and then combated the Golden State Club, the Golden Sun Club the other day, and proved victorious in overtime 91-80. So both teams have faced obstacles, but they have prevailed, and now 2 great ball clubs are set to tip off at the Pittsburg State University Gorillas and the Emporia State Hornets. One team will head off to the Elite 8, the other one will call it a season. So 2 foes with 2 options: win or go home. Gafford and Flott will tip off. PSU will be in the driver's seat to begin with. And Hayden Herlocker, who has the point right now, has done a great job this season commanding the basketball. That time, Moten's able to jump in front in transition. Lackey with the offensive rebound.
And Gafford and Brugman both had their hands on that defensive rebound, so a turnover and then a fumble basically into an offensive rebound. Not a good start for the Gorillas.
And PSU must get off well in this ball game, as they have done a great job in the first half of play during the Central Region. They've scored 74 points in the first half of the last 2 matchups, as will be the second offensive series for the Gorillas. Burgess uncorks the 3. We've seen PSU already with 1 turnover, and then early in the shot clock take a quick 3.
And then they give up a drive to Moten. But you can see where their rebounding is. Everybody's back in the lane, especially on those drives. They're not going to necessarily want to get out and have a bunch of fast break points. Two turnovers for Hayden Herlocker here early into the ball game. That is uncharacteristic of the strong lead guard for the Gorillas.
It is 2 very rare turnovers. She's #1 in the nation in assist to turnover ratio. For every 3.5 assists she dishes out, she only turns the ball over once. Catherine Flott on the perimeter. Down low, blows the layup. I think Brugman may have got a fingertip on it. And Brugman coming off a 31-point performance, which is a career high against Arkansas Tech. Brugman backing down Lackey. Hits the turnaround, no.
And you can see shots falling short, shots not going into the rim, they're going at the rim. I think nerves, I think the situation, I think this crowd has got both these teams a little jittery.
The last time PSU made it to the Sweet 16, it dates back to 2012. Gafford able to disrupt the transmission. Brugman tees up a 3, drives it home for the game's first points.
I like the confidence. She missed the layup on the driving in the other time, the last possession there, tees it up right at the top of the key, stepped into it. If they're going to go under those kind of pseudo screens, she should take that shot every time.
Lackey rounds inside and barrels for a layup.
Again, when you can spread out a defense like that, if you can put your man on your hip, you have an advantage driving to the basket.
Lungwitz. Gafford against Ngoye. Foul on the floor. And going back to Lackey, who hit the layup last possession, she's averaging 13 points during this regional affair, and also shooting 6 of 9 from three-point range. That's good for about 66% from deep. She has been pivotal for this Hornets ball club. Shoveled back out to her locker. She'll take her time. Brugman drives a second three home.
And her toe just barely grazed the line, but you can see what Pitt State is trying to do. If you can get Brugman to step into a long shot like that, she's got a nice soft release, and if Emporia State is going to go under all those screens, that's easy.
Tossed away, so PSU, after knocking down the three, in response to the offensive series, forces a turnover, and Kathy Brugman has knocked down 2 trifectas. Coming into the game, she's knocked down 5 of 6 from deep.
Well, they've just officially changed it. Again, the official signal 2 on the shot. The scoreboard put up another 3, so it is 5-2. That is the official score. Some confusion over there early into a tightly packed arena.
Gafford scans the floor, polishes off the play.
And Ngoye is checked out for Emporia State. Flott, a good defender, but not the size of Ngoye.
So Miller's in the ball game,
wow.
And Moulton, great job splitting the defenders for the lay-in.
And that's what those are the type of shots. If she shot 20 of them a game, that's fine, because she's attacking, and she's already attempted a couple of layups already. When Moulton is downhill aggressive, not settling for jump shots, she is deadly.
And she did exactly that, Zach. Settle for jump shots in the matchup against Winona State. Miller with the rebound. She shot 0 of 8 from three-point range. It would only amount to 11 points, but had 10 assists, which is a season high for her. Flott shuffled her feet.
And there was no need for that travel. She gathered, which is good. But you gather against somebody who's willing to take a charge or against a shot blocker. Her locker there was really neither. She kind of stepped over just to a token contest, was not wanting to take the charge, but is not going to leave her feet and block a shot either.
Lungwitz rolls inside. And it will be Lackey guarding Burgess. Brugman with under 10 on the shot clock. 1v1 versus Miller. Miller, great defense in the post.
Well, and Brugman kind of shot a look at the official, and I'm not so sure she didn't get bumped, but I love the allowment of play so far in this ball game.
Back out to Moulton. Dashes inside, high off the window.
Well, and Gafford on the hedge was too skinny. You got to get wider on that and form a wall to push Moulton back towards her locker. Instead, it was almost like she was preparing for the pick and roll and was dropping back.
Oh, and Burgess runs into traffic. And it will be a foul. So Lackey will earn her first, and it is a 1-point lead for PSU, 7-6, and a Sweet 16 champion will be crowned. Two teams, the long
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
behind the arc as Kathy Brugman has done a great job operating, running that wing position. She knocked down an early three and then a deep two-pointer as it was judged. But right now, Emporia getting the better of PSU in the transition play.
Well, Moten is a one-man fast break, so even if you've got a couple of players back, if you don't seal off the lane, Moten is going to be deadly. For Brugman, they don't put a true forward or center on her. They've got a guard, so that way she can kind of hang with Brugman out on the perimeter, which means Brugman, if she's going to shoot a perimeter shot, has to come within either transition or the team offense. However, on her last shot attempt, she took that guard into the post and just happened to short arm it at the rim. That's going to be an option unless Emporia State starts doubling. They're going to be hesitant to do that, though, because if you double, you're leaving a three-point shooter open somewhere on the court.
Michaela Burgess, sophomore, has hit 3 of 3 free throws, now 4 of 4 in the regional. Played at Webb City High School under Brad Shorter, who is now with Carl Junction. Is there, won 3 district titles. She was also part of the National Honor Society. Moten gallops down the lane. Almost able to earn an and one. And Kelly Moten, as we saw during the Winona game, realized that she was struggling as she shot 8 3-pointers, but now a newfound sense of aggressiveness as she's gone to the lane twice and has drawn her first foul.
If you shoot a lot of layups, only good things are going to happen. Even if you miss them, the defense has to sit there and know you're giving up layup attempts every time down the court. And for 2 possessions in a row, Pittsburg State has not defended that pick and roll very well. And it's not even a real pick and roll. All the screener from Emporia State is doing is just making a little bit of contact. They're mostly showing. They'll roll half-heartedly, but because Moten is so quick, once she gets by the screen and into the help defense, she's already gone so far, she's not going to pass it. Pitt State has to do a better job of shoring that up.
Hayden Herlocker working against Holloway up top. Kick out right corner 3. Lungwitz bounces off the orange.
And that's a shot she is going to have to make if they want to win this ball game. They did put Flott on Brugman, and they still brought help, leaving Lungwitz open. That's probably the one player out there right now other than Northcutt they are going to allow to shoot a lot of attempts. Lungwitz, though, a capable shooter, she just has to knock him down.
And you talk about how capable of a scorer or shooter Lungwitz really is. She only produced a total of 2 double-digit scoring games through the first 22 games of the season. But since then, out of the last 10 matchups, she scored in double digits 7-time. Brugman. Moten tracks down the loose ball.
Watch out.
In transition. Tries to hit the second gear and shovel it to Flott. Instead, it's disrupted on the move.
Brugman read her eyes.
Burgess, great take to the rim. And just like with Moten, we saw Burgess try to find that 3-point jump shot first during the Golden Sun matchup. But when she started to find her actual 2-point range and got herself going, then the other shots started coming down. And a lackadaisical pass results in a turnover.
That's the second errant pass when they try to get Flott the ball in near the lane. The first time was on a pick and roll, and that time on a straight post-up. Credit Northcutt for strong defense, moving Flott out of the block. But yet Burgess, a 3-point shooter, and as capable as she is, you'd think she'd be more of a traditional look, but she does attack off the bounce a little bit. And if the opponent has to start thinking about giving space, that's when that 3-ball will really open up.
And we see PSU taking advantage of the turnovers. +7 in that department. Gapper drills the mid-range.
And if she makes that, she is a tough cover. That's almost, at that point, a double team every time, because she can, with a 2-dribble setup, can get to the rim, and she's got enough counter moves to put somebody in pressure.
Moten, acrobatic pass in the air. Miller pops a 3.
And for Miller, she is Emporia State's version of Paige Lungwitz, and when I mean that by, she has to hit those corner 3s, and if she hits enough of them, that is going to be really disruptive for anything Pitt State is trying to do.
Moten hounding Burgess at the point. Lungwitz spins inside.
Kramer. She got too deep.
Kramer dashes inside. Lungwitz hits the deck, and it will be a foul on PSU.
And she got her on the forearm.
And so far we have seen some turnovers by the Hornets, and it has been somewhat of an uncharacteristic regional for them. They've been averaging over 14 turnovers per game, and that has allowed a lot of the clubs they have faced during this time to fight their way back into the ball game.
Yeah, turnovers are disruptive not only because you lose out on getting a shot attempt, but also because it disrupts any rhythm you really can put yourself into. You can give up offensive rebounding, things like that, but turnovers are the bane of being a championship level team.
Back outside. Kramer working with Ngoye.
Nice hedge.
Baseline. Kramer knocked out from behind by Imhoff. Northcutt gets on the floor, and a jump ball ensues. And a quick scrum between both clubs and Madison Northcutt. How tremendous she has been in the last couple of games for this Gorilla club, averaging 8 points and 7 rebounds the last 2 matchups.
And it's the 7 rebounds off the bench that is really crucial for this Pittsburg State team, because it means that they can take liberties with Gafford and Brugman's playing time, especially in the first half, that allows them to keep their legs for the second half and most importantly, the fourth quarter.
So the officials initially were going to clear the court, but now the decision has been made, and the Gorilla faithful up in arms about the choice. It will be Hornet basketball. Miller working against Brugman, high off the glass to polish it off.
And with 5 quick points, it's putting Pitt State in a situation where they're now going to have to treat her not as a star, but as a threat. So defensively, they cannot help off of her now that she's got it going.
Now we see the matchup of Gafford down low with Miller, and she's just able to strong her way right to the hole.
Well, Miller can give good effort, but you can't teach height or experience. And there, Gafford just goes up over the top of her and puts the ball off the glass.
1:05 remaining in the first quarter of action. PSU being out-rebounded by the Hornets by 5.
And that is crucial because they out-rebounded their previous opponent 44-29. So rebounding a huge weapon for the Gorillas.
Holloway trying to draw the foul, fades away.
Well, you can't draw a foul by fading away. And when you're going to lean like that, it's very rarely you will get any help from the official, even if there is contact, which there was not on that play.
3, unable to sink in. Six-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And
Nice.
Brugman on the backside. And Ngoye able to recover, go straight up. An intelligent play coming from Ngoye down low.
Well, and the Pittsburgh faithful are up in arms, and I don't know if they have an argument, but Brugman and Ngoye went up for a jump ball, basically. Here we're going to see it, and Brugman gets knocked to the ground, and then Herlocker comes in to try to keep the ball alive, and that's on the reach. There, of course, Pittsburg State arguing that first off, ball don't lie, and second of all, that Ngoye fouled him first. I like the no call there. If it's a loose ball, you should allow any sort of basketball contact on that. I like the no call on the original jump ball.
And we've seen a lot of consistency called in terms of the officials throughout the last 3 days. No one's had complaints from really either coaching staff. Everything has been called very balanced.
And I've had not disagreements. I've thought one should go one way or another, but really those are only 50-50 calls, and the officials have done an excellent job of keeping play clean, keeping play lively, and making it a basketball venue. I cannot say enough about how it has been called this weekend.
Flott and Gafford. Burgess trying to get on the backside. Flott with the board. 3 seconds left. Lackey dashing, tossing it up, off the mark, and that will put a bookmark into the first quarter of play. PSU will come out with the 1-point lead, 15-14.